Old Man Zeno. Classic Zoldyck transmuter, doesn't often engage in conjuration as a result. However, when he does, it is to conjure a subscribe button for the New World Review, the pressing of which will grant you regular Hunt Hunter content uploaded straight into your YouTube feed. Hello and welcome to the New World Review, a source for everything anime and manga, and today we are stepping into the household of the world's most famous clan of assassins in an attempt to rank the Zoldyck family. Now, how are we ranking them, you ask? Well, by the only decent metric that we are able to generate, which is sheer popularity. So about a month ago, I put up a straw poll in our YouTube community section, which as of right now has received an astounding 14,500 votes. So I feel like we're going to have a pretty good indicator of Zoldyck popularity on display here today. And before we get started, I want to give a shout out to this guy who took the time to click the straw poll link and even leave a comment saying, "No thanks, sorry," which I love because I am certain that it would have taken them more time to actually do this than to just vote in the poll itself. So just to amend my previous statement, I guess more accurately, we have 14,500 votes and one abstaining. There's always one. But let's jump into things pretty immediately now with our 10th place contender, KIKYO Zoldyck. And 10th place probably sounds a bit too glorious because in reality she is dead last, with a mere 121 votes. With that said, I am kind of shocked that there are in fact 121 people out there who would claim that KIKYO is their favorite Zoldyck, whether it be a real opinion or even just a joke. However, looking at this more positively, KIKYO has one very solid thing going for her, which is a fairly stunning and intriguing design. Of all of the Zoldyck family, she is the most visually distinct. Most of the other members tend to be quite understated in this area, which, to be fair, makes sense because they are assassins and probably shouldn't be dressing to capture attention. So I suppose that you can definitely tell that KIKYO married into the Zoldyck family, and in fact we do know that she was originally from Meteor City, as many in the series are. But she is much more than just a maternal figure, and KIKYO is also a trained assassin herself, which throws a lot more credit behind her name. But to me personally, KIKYO is just the most, I guess, boring of the bunch, which is pretty crazy considering her ornate design, but I think that just speaks to the sheer level of character presented within the rest of this clan. So speaking of, in 9th place we have MILLUKI, who practically doubles KIKYO's vote total, sitting at 241 ticks of approval. And you know, I'd never go so far as to call MILLUKI a popular character. In fact, the sentence just sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but I can at least see where these people are coming from. A lot easier than I can with KIKYO anyway. MILLUKI is a pretty fascinating Zoldyck because much like KILLUA, he doesn't really fit in with this family. He's definitely that disappointing middle child who grew up to be a weeb with an extensive collection of anime body pillows. But despite that, he is to be taken very seriously in every respect because MILLUKI is of course a trained assassin, and that is an interesting fusion of features. The otaku assassin. I mean, that could be a series all on its own. And I was always hoping that he would play a bigger part in Hunter x Hunter, especially when he got involved in all of the Greed Island stuff, and maybe even become a primary antagonist of that arc as opposed to, say, Genthru. But we got what we got. And what we got isn't all that much, which I suspect is a huge part of why MILLUKI lands so close to the bottom of the Zoldyck barrel here today. So moving on to number 8, we have the eldest known living member of this family, Maha Zoldyck, who garnered a fairly impressive 355 votes, although that vote count, much like the series of Hunter x Hunter itself, may be very much sleeping on this character. In fact, Maha has been vaguely praised as one of the most powerful characters that this series has ever featured, as it was stated by Zeno that the only person who has challenged Maha and lived to tell the tale would be Isaac Netero. But it's very important to dwell on that statement for a bit because it doesn't actually say who, if anybody, won that confrontation, just that Netero survived, which is a pretty alarming thought. The fact that there may be a human in this world whom even Netero could not overcome, and a figure who is still very much alive and well to this day, potentially even still capable of devastating power. That is the great mystery of Maha though, a story which we will likely never get to know in any great amount of detail, and much like MILLUKI's role in Hunter x Hunter, that has no doubt contributed quite strongly to Maha being one of the more neglected Zoldycks in the minds of fans. So stepping into number 7 then, we have a slightly less neglected Zoldyck being ZIGG. And if you've not read the manga continuation of Hunter x Hunter beyond the anime events, well, this face thing is probably pretty new to you. ZIGG Zoldyck is a man who has appeared in a grand total of 1 panels during the short flashback of a young Isaac Netero landing on a dark continent. ZIGG was one of 2 companions that Netero took with him in this endeavor, and with that you are now caught up to speed with everything that we officially know about ZIGG. I think that ZIGG trumps Maha here today because he is a relatively more recent addition to the story and fresher in the minds of fans. With all of that said though, I do need to state that there is a very real possibility that ZIGG Zoldyck and Maha Zoldyck are in fact the same person. This is primarily because they're aesthetically similar, they should be around the same age, and Maha's name was not actually given in either the anime or the manga. It was just stated in a data book, and that kind of information has been known to change or just be flat out wrong when it comes to Hunter x Hunter. However, right now we have no no real definitive answer to that inquiry, so we do have to treat Zigg and Maha as different characters. Although given that they are side by side here today, I don't think that their ranking would change all that much if they were indeed the same character. But now in 6th place we have probably the most forgotten about Zoldyck family member, being KALLUTO. However, at the very least, 536 people did remember him. In fact, they very fondly remembered him. But KALLUTO is a pretty stunning enigma of Hunter x Hunter, specifically when it comes to his decision to join the Phantom Troop, a position which he maintains to this very day. And allegedly, KALLUTO has done so in order to, quote, get my brother back, which is a line that can be examined ad nauseum, and I have plans to do just that in the future. But that's because it is not clear who KALLUTO is referring to and for what reason. There are all sorts of thoughts out there, such as the target being KILLUA or even ALLUKA, but one of the most fan-favored trains of thought is the Feitan Zoldyck theory, which states that he is the missing brother within this family, which is not actually as absurd of an idea as it sounds. There's actually quite a lot going in that theory's favor, especially having KALLUTO join the Phantom Troop, specifically to retrieve a certain brother. But I think we've gotten a bit off topic here, so we will now take what is no less than a gigantic leap upwards in terms of votes, with 5th place being inhabited by SILVA Zoldyck with a shocking 1,668 votes, which for the more mathematically inclined of you is more than triple the vote total of KALLUTO. So these next 5 Zoldycks are certainly the more favored within the series. SILVA for obvious reasons. He's kind of like Maha in that he has an established legacy behind him, specifically in regards to having fought against Krollo in the past and having even defeated a former unnamed Phantom Troop member. But SILVA has also had some nice crowning moments that we have had the pleasure of seeing with our own eyes, such as a modern fight against Krollo and having the honor of delivering the final blow to Cheetu during the Chimera Ant arc. But SILVA is just the kind of character who I cannot help but be excited for whenever he appears, because this man means business. If he takes the time out of his day to be in the story, then it is going to be for a very compelling reason. And while his appearances are still, a bit rare for my liking, he definitely does the best he can with what he has to work with. And narrowly edging out a victory over SILVA would be a late addition to this clan in ALLUKA Zoldyck, who managed to generate just over 1,700 votes. This does make all the sense in the world though, because ALLUKA is one of the very few, if not the only Zoldyck, who has received an entire arc focusing on them. And ALLUKA also has a slight advantage of being the host of Nanika as well, who is quite literally the most powerful character within the entire series. And that makes ALLUKA a compellingly scary presence, but also adorable at the same time, because her relationship with KILLUA is the only one within this entire family unit that even comes close to the word wholesome, normal, or you know what, even functional. ALLUKA got to showcase a side of this family that I did not know was possible. And it's great that KILLUA is not the only Zoldyck with some form of heart and desires outside of murder for money. The only slight thing that does bother me about ALLUKA is that she is a fairly blatant deus ex machina that was designed to save Gon from his own foolishness, but then again that has nothing to do with ALLUKA herself. So congratulations on your incredible popularity. But getting very serious now, the bronze medal in the Zoldyck Olympics will be going to ILLUMI. As one of the most prolific antagonists within this entire series, ILLUMI is very much to be expected at the top of pretty much any poll, let alone one catered to his family name. But really, if it weren't for the existence of Hisoka, I think that ILLUMI would act as something of a Hunter x Hunter ambassador, because he just has everything going for him. He's quirky, absurdly strong, and comes with a sleek yet effective character design, the combination of which demands the attention of any reader or watcher. Plus, he's also the poster boy for manipulation in the Nen realm, really proudly displaying to us the degrees to which an efficient user can push pure manipulation, which was far beyond what I thought it would be capable of when first learning of the affinity. And very importantly, ILLUMI legitimately scares me. I mean, I like him a lot as a character, but if I saw him at any time, anywhere in this world, I would probably promptly crap myself. And I think that that is a sign of a very well done antagonist, as well as a character in general. Now, as for who defeats ILLUMI, well, our runner-up for this list is going to be one ZENO Zoldyck, who doesn't just beat ILLUMI, but ZENO actually thrashes him with almost a full 1,000 more votes than his grandson. And I think a lot of this is because ZENO is the perfect combination of every profound Zoldyck feature. He has the legacy and seemingly godlike power of figures like Maha, but he also has the quirkiness and sense of humor of the younger family members. And then again, at the same time, he's also a very strict professional like his son SILVA. And finally, not to be outdone, ZENO very much comes with a unique and ornate design, very reminiscent of KIKYO. Everything that comes under the banner of Zoldyck is manifest in ZENO, to the point where whenever I hear the name Zoldyck, this man is the immediate image that comes to mind. ZENO is my favorite Zoldyck family member, is very much what I would like to say, because I do love this character. Unfortunately, the ultimate Zoldyck KILLUA just so happens to exist, and it should be no surprise to anyone that he has emerged as number 1 on this list with far and away the most amount of votes, sitting at 4,524, which is almost a third of the entire votes cast. And look, maybe it's not fair to put KILLUA as an option here, but really we can't have a Zoldyck popularity poll and not feature the Zoldyck. But KILLUA is not just my favorite Zoldyck, he's my favorite Hunt Hunter character in general, so I could not be more thrilled to see him emerge victorious in any respect. And there we have the official NewWorldReview Zoldyck family ranking. And you know, I'd still like to do some more of these polls because I find all of your thoughts really fascinating here, so if there is a particular ranking you would like done, then please do let me know down in the comments. I was thinking about doing a Chimera Ant one, but there's an awful lot of ants. I mean, maybe they could be separated somehow, like squadron leaders, or even a shorter one with a royal guard, but yeah, no, you guys let me know what you want to see. But what do you guys think? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, or even join my Discord server. And if you're keen for some more Hunt Hunter content, then please do go and check out some of my other videos, or even subscribe to the channel for regular Hunt Hunter glory delivered straight into your YouTube feed. But for now, this has been the NewWorldReview, and I'll see you next time.